kind of feels as an England fan we threw that one away slightly. I mean, England make 315 despite being 213 for two with 18 overs left. Ben Duckett top scores with a 95 for England, but it was the part-time spin from Australia that just put England in a terrible position. I mean, 3 wickets from Labuschagne, 2 from Head, 1 from Short. I mean, Zampa took 3 for 49, which is okay. It's great. You'd expect to see that from Zampa. You really would. But then, I mean, just how have you let part-time spin? Duckett should have walked to a century. Jacks probably should have as well. Again, just chipping one up to cover. It was relatively poor. And then Australia chased it down with 6 overs left. I mean, they did really make it look easy. I mean, Travis Head's 154 from 129. That was unbelievable. It really was some knock. And even Labuschagne, 77 off 61. I mean, last time I saw that bloke bat in England that in an Australia shirt, 9 off 81 at the Oval. I mean, what? Where does this come from? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, Phil Saul looked like he was unlucky to the pitch when he got out, but he just missed a straight one. Then Dorsius went off with a pec injury. Duckett made 95, which looked really good and should have been a big 100 like Heads. I mean, again, just batting with confidence. Him against spin is unbelievable. It still amazes me that we didn't take him to India for the ODI World Cup. Well, we just didn't play him. Didn't make any sense to me. I thought he would have fitted in like 3 or 4 perfectly. Jacks looked really good for 62. You can see why England are sticking with him. Harry Brook with a very odd 39. Again, looked in control and then threw it away. Jamie Smith, very similar. Livingston and Bethel kind of had to do a bit at the end, and then you kind of get to the tail enders. But as I said, I mean, it was the part-time spin from Australia that just seemed to be so good. I couldn't believe how good their part-time spin was. I mean, Head, Labuschagne, Shaw. I mean, Cameron Green bowled 4 overs, and Matthew Short bowled 10. I mean, it was definitely favour of spin, and you think that this would have played into England's favour, but it just didn't. Like they just weren't anywhere near it in the end. I mean, Travis Head had just completely taken the game away from him. I don't know how you get him out. I mean, England managed to pick up Mitch Marsh relatively early, as he was bowled Potts, caught Carse. Steve Smith had a little 32 as he was caught and bowled by Livingston, and then Cam Green also went for 32 at runner ball. He was bowled by Bethel, which was Bethel's first ODI wicket, which was nice to see. But it was just so easy for Australia. Like, we've just let them get away with one there. We left 60, 70 runs out there. I mean, we could have easily scored 350, 360 with the start that we had. Now, the problem is that I know that Baz is now the coach of this England side, but it felt a very, very Bazball performance. I mean, it was getting into a very good position and then just completely throwing it away. I mean, how many times have you seen England do that in Test match cricket? And now it seems to have moved over to the ODI side, which is interesting, I have to admit. Australia deserved to win this game. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say about it. Very odd that this is a 5 ODI series rather than 3 ODI. But do you know what? I enjoyed the game today. I thought it was good. I thought it had its ups and downs. It was pretty demoralising for England towards the end, but it was always going to when they chased down 315 with 7 wickets in hand and 6 overs left. I mean, what are you expecting from that realistically? Now, to India versus Bangladesh, day one of the first test. And India are in trouble. India are in massive trouble. I mean, Jaiswal kind of carried on his good form from the England series that he had at the start of the year. He scored 56 off 118. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli both made 6. Virat Kohli might start to have some problems outside off stump. Shubman Gill goes for a duck, which I don't know. Am I buying Shubman Gill yet? Every time I watch him bat, he's either going to score a fantastic century or he's going to get out doing something stupid. That seems to happen all the time at this point. But it was Jadeja and Ashwin who put on a partnership of nearly 200. I mean, India were 144 for 6 at one point. and then managed to get it up to 339 for 6 at the end of day's play. I mean, 144 for 6, they're in trouble at that point. They are in a lot of trouble. Like, they could have easily been bowled out for a sub 200 score, and then Bangladesh are massively in the game. Now, I don't even know how many um, test matches this is. It's only 2 tests. So if Bangladesh were to win the first test, India could only get a draw out of it. And I know that they've been unbeaten for the last 15 years or whatever it was. And probably Jadeja and Ashwin would have just spanned webs round them and bowled them out for pretty much nothing, because that's just what India do at home. But still, it makes you think. Hassan Mahmood for Bangladesh, 4 for 58. He managed to pick up the wickets of Sharma, Gill, Kohli, and Pant. I mean, that's not a bad little fourfer there. I mean, Pant, Kohli, Gill, Sharma. I mean, that's probably the 4 best batsmen in Indian cricket right now, isn't it? I mean, pretty good to me. I mean, that is pretty good to me. Pant made a 39, to be fair. KL Rahul, in his return after his injury in the test side, I still don't know how I feel about KL Rahul. I still think they should play Sarfaraz Khan. I thought he was a lot more interesting than KL Rahul is when I saw him play in the England series. But I thought Bangladesh, the first half of the day, the pitch flattened out a bit more. It did dry out. There was a lot less in it for the seamers. There was a bit to start off with. So, again, they got off to a good start, Bangladesh, but Jadeja and Ashwin just hammered them. Absolutely hammered them. I mean, if you're Bangladesh, you're hoping to bowl this team out for less than 200, and then you've got a chance in this test match. I don't think you've got a chance anymore, especially not batting last on Indian pitches. I mean, it's just difficult at the best of times. So you've got to say that India are on top, and Ashwin, I mean, at number 8, pulling a century, basically a run a ball century. I mean, 10 fours, 2 sixes. I mean, just fantastic from him. It really was. He's played really well and set his team up to win. And you know that he's probably going to be taking, maybe not the new ball tomorrow, but he's going to be on pretty early when Bangladesh start to bat. Finally, to the Sri Lanka versus New Zealand test match. Now, Sri Lanka had a pretty good first day. I mean, it was pretty even after day one. 302 for 7. Kamindu Mendis got 114 of 173 to carry on his good form. Will O'Rourke managed to pick up a 5-for, which I believe is his first 5-for. No, his second test 5-for. I stand corrected. He bowled really well. Ajaz Patel picked up 2. Southey picked up 1. Glenn Phillips, with his part-time off spin, managed to pick up 2. And they ended the day 302 for 7. A good day of cricket. I thought that New Zealand, to do anything, would have had to bowl them out pretty quickly. Hopefully for maybe 320, 330, something like that. Well, they went one better. They went 302 for 7 to 305 all out. And then New Zealand just batted on. Latham with a 70. Conway was out early for a 17. Kay Williamson gets another 50. I thought maybe he should have tried to push on for his 100 today, because he has been in some really, really good form. Rachi Ravindra scored a 39. Daryl Mitchell with a 41 not out, and Tom Blundell 18 not out. I do like it when those two bat together. They are very good at batting together. The amount of times that I've seen England play New Zealand and those two just bat for long periods of time. De Silva picked up the 2 wickets. Ramesh Mendis picked up 1. And Jai Surya also picked up 1 as he bowled 31 overs in a day. I mean, it's at Gaul. You'd expect it to spin. It's always going to spin. But still, I mean, 31 overs in one day is a lot of bowling. I mean, your arm is going to be sore tomorrow, and he's going to have to do some more tomorrow because, I mean, Sri Lanka have got to take some quick wickets. They don't want to take they don't want to give New Zealand anything more than a 50-run lead, realistically, if they can avoid it. So yeah, I mean, if you can bowl them out for another 100, I mean, there's not loads of batting to come. If you get these two out, then you've got Phillips, and then you're at Santner, Southey, Patel, and Will O'Rourke. I mean, Santner can bat a bit, but there's not much else below that. Southey can throw the bat around and probably give you a quick 20, 30 if he's lucky. But I still think New Zealand are going to be in the driving seat. It wouldn't surprise me if these two bat on. get the lead up to 350 and then start swinging, try and get to 400, 450, a lead of 150, and then even though you're batting last on what is probably going to be a bit of a difficult surface, you're going to be absolutely fine going forward. But guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Slightly new style. I'm going to try be doing some more long form. If you prefer this background and how it all looks compared to how I usually do the YouTube videos of sat in my PC, it's quite nice just to sit down in a nice comfy chair and do it this way. So if you did enjoy it, leave a like, drop me a comment down below. I'll be back tomorrow with a roundup of the county championship games, because they should all be finished, so we might even be able to crown a new winner, and possibly promotions and relegations and things like that. So I'll do a roundup of all the games. I know there's only a couple of games still going, but we will do that tomorrow, along with an update of day 2 from the India Test match and day 3 of the Sri Lanka New Zealand Test match. So remember to like, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.